What's up, guys? My name is Zach. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and welcome to day 158 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season, where we talk about everything that went on in the NBA world from the previous day. That being said, though, we do have a heck of a lot to talk about today, guys, so let's just get right into it. No, Lance, chill out, bro. You've been watching way too much LeVar Ball during your free time. So as you guys know by now, Lance Stephenson has returned to the Indiana Pacers, and he is set to make his debut in Indiana this upcoming Tuesday. And yesterday he was asked about his debut and how he felt the home crowd would react to him having his name announced on the announcement system or whatever. And what he said was, you just have to listen for yourself.
You talked about dreaming, Lance. Can you imagine what it's going to be like on Tuesday when you're introduced to the crowd?
Oh, man, it's going to probably be like Michael Jordan coming back to play in the NBA or something like that, or somebody coming out of retirement and playing. I know the atmosphere is going to be crazy.
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it.
All right. Now he's not saying that he's MJ, like his return is the greatest thing since Michael Jordan. I hope, at least. I hope that's not what he was saying. But what he was saying was that basically that he's going to get a warm reception from the crowd, kind of like what Michael Jordan got when he returned. But I still think that's a stretch, considering you can't compare the return of Lance Stephenson, no matter how much the fans in Indiana loved him, to the return of Michael Jordan. Sometimes you know exactly what the consequences for your actions will be before you even do that action, but you just become so fed up that you no longer care about those consequences. That's how John Wall felt last night after the Wizards played the Jazz, as he absolutely ripped the refs after the game, and we all know the consequence for ripping the referees is giving up some of that dinero. And he was upset about a bunch of things, but mainly that he got a technical foul for, you know, handling Gobert's nuts.
I haven't been saying nothing to the refs lately because I know in what situation I've been in, but the way they've been officiating today doesn't make no sense. To shoot 31 free throws to 16, we're an aggressive team that attacked the basket. That don't make no sense. You know what I mean? I had to get this bandage up because I'm bleeding, and the ref tell me that's not a foul. It's getting out of hand, and you want us to compete at a high level like we've been doing. We didn't lose this game. The refs made us lose this game. We fought hard, we gave ourselves a chance, but you don't shoot no 31 free throws to 16 the way we attack the basket as a team. So that's how I feel about it. I tried to get some rescinded before. It never works in my favor. Other players have, and they got it. So all I could do is just keep my mouth shut like I've been doing, and I can see if I would have got a flagrant one, but a technical foul for that, that's outrageous. Now, whether or not that was unintentional contact is up for discretion by the person viewing it. But I'm pretty sure the tech was given out because of the new Draymond Green rule. You know, the rule states whenever you make contact with another player's nuts, that's an automatic technical foul. It may not actually be worded like that. It's actually like when you do an unnatural movement to create contact with a player is seen as unnatural or whatever. Basically, when you go out of your way to hit a player, it's a tech. But yeah, at least John Wall got that off his chest. You know, he got all that frustration off his chest with the refs, because you can't let that build up or else he'll probably wind up hitting a ref mid-game. Some good news and some bad news for Blazers fans. I'll start with the good news. The good news is you guys have a 2-game lead on the Denver Nuggets for the 8th seed in the Western Conference. The bad news is it's going to be kind of hard to maintain that lead now, considering Jusuf Nurkic will be out for the remainder of the regular season with a non-displaced leg fracture. Now, when I first heard that, I'm not gonna front, I did not know what a non-displaced leg fracture actually meant. I did not go to med school, but I just assumed that it was just like a minor fracture. That's basically what it is. You know, it's just like a very small fracture. He's only going to miss 2 weeks, but that still is the rest of the regular season, and then he will be reevaluated after those 2 weeks, so he could be back right in time for the first round of the NBA playoffs. That is if the Blazers can hold on to that number 8 seed in the Western Conference that they currently have, which is going to lead us directly into the question of the day. With Nurkic out for the remainder of the regular season, can Portland hold on to the 8th seed in the Western Conference? Keep in mind that Nurkic has been a vital part of their turnaround over the past month or so, and both the Blazers and Nuggets have 7 games each left in their regular seasons. And honestly,
I'm not 100% sure if they can. Now, I'm still leaning towards that they're going to keep the seeding, but it's going to be very close. Now, Nurkic was a big part of their offense. He was also basically their best rim protector. And on top of that, he's their best rebounder. That's a lot to miss. But with only 7 games left in the season, I think that they can hold on, especially considering they do have the tiebreaker with Denver. Because if they win, let's say 3 games right now, that means that Denver has to win 6 of their last 7 games in order to get the 8th seed. So as long as the Blazers can still manage to win 3 of their final 7 games, I think that they get to keep the 8th seed. Let me know your answers to the question down in the comment section below. But speaking of answers, let's check out some of the things you guys said in yesterday's video. So yesterday, after reporter Frank Isla claimed that he heard whispers that if Utah can't resign Gordon Hayward, he could end up in Miami, I asked you guys whether or not you think Gordon Hayward in Miami will be a good fit, if you can see Gordon Hayward going to Miami. And this one got a lot of mixed results. Mo Hunnit says, this Hayward rumors need to stop. This dude is going to be re-signed. Why would he leave there? There's literally no point right now if Utah plays Golden State Warriors in a hard-fought 6 or 7 game series. They're one decent player away from being contenders for years to come. That's pretty much a common thought. Everyone thinks that, you know, they're a good up-and-coming team. Why would he leave a good situation? Casey Hayward says, as a Heat fan, I have been calling for them to sign Hayward ever since they lowballed Wade this past offseason. To all the Heat fans who see this as a poor fit, why? He can shoot, pass, and take the ball to the rim, and he's not a bad defender either. I think he's the perfect fit with Dragic and Whiteside because it gives him a guy who can run the pick and roll with Whiteside, but also spot up in the corner when Dragic penetrates. And unlike anyone on the Heat team right now, outside of Dion Waiters, he can be the late game guy that they put in ISO when they need a quick bucket. This is the guy that I wanted for the Heat since the team cleared up all the cap space, and it wouldn't surprise me if we land him. Yeah, there's no question that Gordon Hayward would be a good fit. Gordon Hayward is the type of player where he'd be a good fit for any team. I can't see any team that would be like, you know what, we don't want him. He ain't a good fit. When he does everything and he does it so effortlessly, he doesn't demand the ball or anything like that. So there's no question that it will be a good fit, but it's just a matter of would he actually leave Utah, leave all the money behind that he could make in Utah to go to Miami. And Existify says, Gordon Hayward should be a great pickup for Brooklyn, as I believe that he will pair perfectly at shooting guard with Jeremy Lin at PG and Brook Lopez. As for Lopez to thrive, he needs to have people pick him out in the post, etc. He just needs some people to pass to him. And when they have 2 able passers, possible NBA winners, 2018.
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it.
And on that note, let's hop over to the games from last night. Have you ever seen someone do something that was like kind of crazy, but at the same time it looked fun, so you think to yourself, hey, I can probably do that too? Well, after losing a 22-point lead in their last game against the Warriors, that's exactly what the Spurs thought. If the Warriors can come back like that and win, so can we. And they did. San Antonio was down 21 at one point in the 3rd quarter, and it seemed like Westbrook's 39th triple-double of the season would result in a Thunder win. But of course, it didn't. 100-95 was the final score. The Spurs led all of 37 seconds in this game, but that's all it takes is 37 seconds to get you the win. Kawhi Leonard scored 28 points and had 8 rebounds and 3 steals, while Paul Gasol had 17 off the bench. Like I said though, Westbrook did have another triple-double for OKC though, with 32 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. Well, it hasn't been the best month for the Cavaliers, but you know what they say, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And they did finish with a 122-105 win, even if it was against an injury-riddled Sixers team, as now both Jahlil Okafor and Robert Covington have also been ruled out for the remainder of the regular season. A win is a win though, when LeBron James dominates with his usual 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, while Kyrie Irving also chipped in 24 points and 9 assists. Rashawn Holmes and Kakarot both scored 19 for Philly. This has been a really rough stretch schedule-wise for both of these teams. Houston, of course, having to play Golden State twice, the Thunder, and the Red Hot Blazers. And the Warriors had to play Houston twice, Memphis, and San Antonio. And Houston had control of this one up until like the halfway mark of the 4th. And then they just couldn't get anything going offensively, and they fall to the Warriors 107-98. Interesting moment in this one though, as James Harden had injured his wrist early in the week in a game against OKC, and Draymond Green kind of like slapped the same wrist during the game, And after the game, he said it was because Harden had just pinched him in his side. But you know, I just thought I had to share that with you, but I'm gonna leave that topic alone because, you know, it's kind of weird talking about the possibility of NBA players pinching each other. So we're just gonna, you know, move on. Stephen Curry had 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, while Klay Thompson had 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Also, Andre Iguodala has been playing really well off the bench since KD's injury. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. As for Houston, that wrist injury must really be bothering James Harden a lot, as his shot has been off this past few games. He shot 4 of 18 from the field for 17 points, but also had 12 rebounds and 8 assists. The Celtics came into this one needing to win in order to keep their half-game lead on Cleveland for the #1 seed in the East. And their opponents were the Orlando Magic, who aren't the best team in the league, but that doesn't mean they can't beat you like they are. And they almost did knock Boston down back to the 2nd seed last night. 117 to 116 was the final score, with Boston claiming the W thanks to Isaiah Thomas and his 35 points and 7 assists, as well as Jay Crowder and his 18 points. Elfrid Payton and Aaron Gordon were causing Boston all kinds of problems last night though, as Payton had a career high 15 assists to go along with his 12 points and 9 rebounds, while Gordon had 32 points and 16 rebounds. What did DeMarcus Cousins say that they were going to try and do before the game yesterday? Come out, play hard, and try and get a win? Well, they did. And maybe they played a bit too hard, as they never gave Sacramento the slightest chance in Cousins' first game against his former team. And it was fitting, you know, that Cousins dished out a performance for his former teammates to remember him by. 37 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks for Boogie. You know, the Kings can look forward to that happening 4 times a year now. And they also can look forward to Anthony Davis being Anthony Davis as well. He didn't score much with only 19 points, but he still had 12 rebounds and 5 blocks. 117 to 89 was the final score, and Buddy Hield had 13 points and 8 rebounds against his former team. With news breaking out that Nurkic will miss the remainder of the regular season, a win for the Nuggets, and this one would have been huge for them in their attempt to regain the 8th seed out west. And things did get off to a pretty good start for them, as they led 32 to 24 after 1. But then they're outscored 24 to 32 in the second. But they regained control in the third by outscoring Charlotte 38 to 30. However, in the fourth they lost, as they were outscored 36 to 20. 122 to 114 is the final score, with the Hornets taking the win despite a triple-double from Jokic. Kemba Walker had another good game for the Hornets with 31 points and 8 assists, while Frank Kaminsky had 22 off the bench. Like I said though, Jokic did have a triple-double for Denver with 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists, and Kenneth Reed had 18 points and 13 rebounds. Will the Bucks finally move into the 5th seed with a win over Detroit? In the first quarter, it seemed like it would happen easily, but the Pistons clawed back into the game thanks to Tobias Harris off the bench, and eventually forced overtime since Middleton just barely missed what could have been the game-winning shot at the end of regulation. Middleton will make up for it though, as he hit a dagger 3 with 40 seconds left in OT to give the Bucks the 108 to 105 win over Detroit, and officially move into the 5th seed. Middleton had 25 points and 10 rebounds, and Giannis was only 1 assist shy of a triple-double with 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists, but it was rookie Thon Maker who stole the show in my eyes, as he scored a career-high 23 points for the Bucks last night. Meanwhile, for the Pistons, Harris had 23 and Udry had 16 points and 8 assists off the bench. When John Wall simply can't get anything going for Washington, honestly, they're just not going to win. And Utah really did an outstanding job of not letting the Wizards do anything on the offensive end at all last night, as they limit Washington to only 12 assists while forcing 14 turnovers. If you have a negative assist to turnover ratio as a team, you are not winning that game, period. And they didn't. 95 to 88 is the final score, with the Jazz claiming the win. Gordon Hayward had 19, Gobert had 16 points and 10 rebounds, and Shelvin Mack had 15 off the bench for Utah. And like I said, John Wall probably had his worst game of the season, scoring 16 points on 6 of 22 shooting and only having 5 assists. Beal still scored 27 though. It's simple math. When DeMar DeRozan drops 40, the Raptors have a 100% chance of winning the game. DeMar DeRozan dropped 40 last night, and the Raptors won the game. This should be like an unwritten rule of basketball. If he hits 40, the game automatically ends and the Raptors get the win. 111 to 100 was the final score, and like I said, DeMar DeRozan scored 40, but also had 9 rebounds and 4 assists, while Valanciunas had 16 points and 17 rebounds. Fun fact, with this game, DeMar DeRozan has tied Vince Carter for most 30-point games in a single season by a Raptor, with 30. Paul George is a pretty good player too though, in case you didn't know, as he had 28 points and 9 rebounds for the Pacers. No Melo, no Rose, no problem. Well, I guess not, as without two other top scorers, the Knicks somehow still managed to cool off the Heat with a 98-94 win. Of course, New York still had Porzingis, and he did score 22, as well as Courtney Lee scoring 20, but I just didn't see this one coming. Goran Dragic had 22 points and Whiteside had 17 points and 16 rebounds for the Heat, and Miami was ultimately sunk by their inability to hit threes last night as they shoot 8 of 33 from beyond the arc. The Spurs weren't the only team that attempted to do the comeback challenge last night. Dallas thought they would try to one-up their Texas rivals by attempting to come back from a 21-point halftime deficit to the Grizzlies. And to be fair, they almost did. They tried really hard to do it, but they just couldn't finish the job, and Memphis gets the 99-90 win as they play their 4th straight game without Marc Gasol. Mike Conley still proving that when he needs to, he can score like some of the best scorers in the league though, as he has 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. But it was Randolph and Daniels who were the heroes off the bench, as Randolph had 22 points and 12 rebounds, and Daniels cashed in on 7 of his 12 3-point attempts to score 21. Dirk had 13 points and 12 rebounds for Dallas. And that about wraps up all the action for the day 158 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season, and now it's time to get into the player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Ricky Rubio and his 33 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds as your player of the day, and here are today's nominees. You have DeMar DeRozan and his 40 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Giannis Antetokounmpo and his 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. DeMarcus Cousins and his 37 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Isaiah Thomas and his 35 points and 7 assists. LeBron James and his 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Or Kawhi Leonard and his 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. You guys go vote for the player of the day right now by following the straw poll link down in the description box below. But other than that, thank you once again for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until next time, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!